With your permission, I wish to make a statement on the proposed review of the invalidity pension system, following the one made by the Honourable Prime Minister at the last sitting of the National Assembly on income support, invalidity pension reform, and the setting up of a committee of experts on the pension system and the revamping of the National Pensions Fund (NPF). Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, in its government programme 2025 to 2029, A Bridge to the Future, this government committed to implementing fundamental structural reforms aimed at creating a more inclusive society. For persons living with disabilities, one of the most vulnerable segments of our population. It is imperative that our public policies reflect our commitment to providing them with the support they rightfully deserve. As for the proposed constitutional amendment on the inclusion of disability as a criteria for non-discrimination, same will be considered by the forthcoming Constitutional Review Committee. In regard to the Invalid Basic Pension BIP, it is important to note that it is currently accessible to individuals below the age of 50, provided they are certified to have a disability of 60% or above. With the present ongoing reform of the Basic Retirement Pension, BRP, the eligibility age for the invalid's basic pension will be extended from 60 to 65. It is estimated that approximately 1,500 additional persons will benefit from the invalid's basic pension for each year between the ages of 60 and 65. In parallel, and in addition to this measure, Government is undertaking a comprehensive review of the entire invalidity pension determination system in Mauritius. The current system is outdated and in need of reform to provide a more human and inclusive approach. I attended the Global Disability Summit held in Berlin on the 2nd and 3rd April 2025 with the main objective of gaining insights of international best practices and the evolving global approach to disability-related public policies. One of the main takeaways from the summit is that the Republic of Mauritius is lagging behind in the way disability assessment are conducted. Presently, disability assessment in Mauritius is based solely on a person's medical condition and typically on a single condition. This approach disadvantages individuals suffering from multiple medical conditions, as it excludes and it also excludes the consideration of social and factional factors. We are therefore proposing to transition to a hybrid model wherein a person's disability to function in a daily life, for example, his capacity to travel, feed himself, herself, or solve problems independently would be evaluated. Additionally, instead of limiting assessment to a person's single medical condition, multiple ones will be considered. We are also proposing to move away from the current all or nothing model of financial support. Presently, only individuals assessed with a disability of 60% or more qualify for the full invalid basic pension of 15,000 rupees per month. And those assessed below the 60% threshold often receive no support or a limited meager disability allowance of 2,500 rupees. Therefore, we are proposing to introduce a graduated support model whereby individuals with a disability of less than 60% will receive some form of financial assistance. Furthermore, my ministry will also be working towards the implementation of specific assessment models for children with disabilities, recognizing that the needs differ from those of adults. We are actually proposing to take rare diseases as a functional factor for assessment. Another proposed major reform will be a revamp of the assessment panels. At present, the responsibility to assess and determine eligibility for the pension lies with the medical board, usually composed of 2 general practitioners. We are proposing to introduce a multidisciplinary panel that will include medical specialists, psychologists, occupational therapists, trauma therapists, and others. We are also considering the inclusion of representatives of persons with disabilities in the panel to ensure that the prospective persons with disabilities are present. Vinila. After all, the global guiding principle for the rights of persons with disabilities is nothing about us without us. The assessment panel will also be multidimensional and will enable assessment of different types of disabilities-related benefits at one go. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I believe that in the context of the present reform of the whole pension system, it was essential to communicate to the population the vision of my ministry and of the government on the proposed invalid basic pension reform. In the context of the above, my ministry is preparing a cabinet memorandum to be submitted shortly to the Cabinet of Ministers, which, of course, will take into consideration the present budgetary constraint. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Yes.